So let's move on with the topic, specifically input and output. So we have already seen how we can give an input to the computer program. Can anyone help me recall how do you provide input to your program? Come on, you know. Just the input function, right? So there are a couple of different ways to provide input to the program. This is what we are going to discuss in today's lecture. So other than input function, we can also provide input using command line arguments. Command line means when I run the code, you might have seen already, when I run the code by writing Python and the file name, right, to execute the code, I can also add some arguments, that inputs that I want to pass to that file. Okay, these are generally referred as command line arguments. So these are entered when you're running the program through the terminal interface. Let's take an example here. So suppose that I have this Python file created and I want to run it by writing Python sysargv-demo.py, and then I pass some other values. These are the inputs that will go into this file, okay, that needs to be used in this file. It will not go into this file, that needs to be used in this file. Okay, so recall, when you take input from a user using input function, sorry, it was Siri. When you take input from a user to an input function, how do you store it? Sorry. So how do you store the input, collected input from a user? Yep. Assigning it to a variable, right? It's like this. So you take an input, you display a message, meaningful message, enter expense, and whatever user is specified, you would assign it to a variable, cost equal something, whatever. Agreed? If I do not use this, if I do not use this assignment, if I just collect the input, what will happen? Will I be able to use it later in the program? I cannot use it. Simply, the reason why I'm giving you this example is because in this method, you are also passing some input values. These has to be stored somewhere before we can use it in our program. So where do these inputs go? It could be either one input, two input, or like tens or hundreds of inputs that we specify. So they are stored somewhere. So let's see where they are stored. So there is a built-in module named sys. Okay, sys is a built-in module, just like math module. There is a built-in module sys. It has a list named argv. So argv is a list which would contain all the inputs that we pass through command line interface. Okay, so understand this again. Math, just like a math module, we have a sys module, sys, corresponding to the system related functions. Okay, it has a variable named argv. That variable is actually a list. Okay, that list will contain everything that we pass through command line interface. Okay, so argv is a list. It is stored in a standard library sys module. While executing the program, the Python interpreter actually parses all the inputs specified or separated by the white space and store it into this list, argv. Okay, and it store it as a separate element in a list. So let's say we run this Python sys argv-demo.py, and we are passing these additional arguments. For this above command, argv lists would contain these three elements: the file name, the first argument, and the second argument. Okay, so always remember this. argv, the zeroth index element, would always be the file name. This is important to remember. The zeroth element in argv, zeroth index element in argv, would always be the file name. So we have been running our Python code with Python, the file name. We never passed any further arguments. So whenever we run Python sys argv-demo.py, you know that argv would always contain at least one element, that is the program file name. Okay. Now once I have these values stored in ARGV list, which is not a part of this program, it is a part of sys module. How can I use it in this program? If you need to use something from another file, how do you use it? Huh? Import. So what are we going to import? What file? What is the file name? Where is this ARGV stored? Sys. So we are going to import sys. So once we import sys, we can access to all the elements in this object ARGV. Okay? So we are importing sys. Sys contain a list which is named as ARGV, and the 0th element will give us an access to the file name. The first element will give us an access to the first argument that we have passed. Similarly, second for the second argument, and so on and so forth. So when we run this program, we will get this output. Your file name is sysargv-demo.py. Whatever is stored at the 0th index is the file name. And then we are storing course CSE, and then dash we are providing it as a part of like print statement, and then code is C1010. Okay? Any confusion here? So you may also expect to have similar kind of like snippets in your exam, where I could ask you like, what will be an output of a certain print statement? Or for example, I give you a snippet of code, or I'll give you this is kind of like a command, and I might ask you like what would be stored in ARGV1 or ARGV2, whatever. Okay, we will do the knowledge test in a while. That will also help you prepare for your exam. But any question here so far? Okay, so the common mistake, user forgets to enter the command line argument. So for example, if I develop some program and I expect my end user to run this program using Python, the file name, and then provide at least 2 inputs, okay? And the end user forget to provide enough number of inputs. That is a common mistake. So what will happen is, if I have the same code, if I run this program by passing only 1 argument, CSE, I forgot mistakenly to provide the second argument. What will happen? When this code is run, what do you think it will display on your screen? Come on. You have done this before a lot of times. What is this? ARGV. ARGV is a list. So this 0th index contains what? What will it contain? File name. And ARGV1, which is CSE. What is ARGV2? Nothing. And we are trying to access an element from an index which does not exist. So it will throw off an error, list index out of range. We are trying to access an element at a certain index where there is no element. So it will throw off this list index out of range error. So we can avoid running into that situation by enclosing this part of the code into try except block, or what we can do is we can calculate the total expected number of inputs. So the good practice is we can calculate the expected number of inputs. So for example, the same program, if you look at here before, how can we ensure that user specify at least 3 inputs? How can you check the required number of inputs have been passed? Yeah? Yeah, exactly. Length of what? Which is? The name of the list is ARGV. Okay, so we can actually calculate, because ARGV is going to contain all the elements. all the elements here, the file name, the arguments, number of arguments we are passing. Okay, so for this example, we are required to pass 2 arguments. So what length should we be checking? What will be the value that we should be checking for? What should be the minimum length of ARGV? Minimum length of ARGV, like when I'm running this program, Python sysargv-demo.py, and I need to pass 2 arguments according to this example. So what should be the length that we should be looking for? Minimum length? 2 arguments, and additionally 1 for the file name, because file name is always stored. So it should be 3, at least 3. Did you get that? So it should be less than, if the length of ARGV is less than 3, it means that user has specified the file name and at least 1 argument. Okay, they forgot to either provide the 3rd argument, which is the main argument that needs to be passed, or the 2nd argument also. So when this happens, when you run this code like this, Python, the file name CSE, and when you run this code, it will print this message, print some input arguments, and then sys.exit, exit command actually terminates the code immediately without completely executing the entire program. And any non-zero value in this exit as an argument, it will tell the operating system that the code is terminated because of any error. Okay, if it is 0, if you specify 0 in it, it means that the program is terminated without any error. It is just for telling the operating system. You do not need to worry about it. And if you run this program CSE 1010, then it will run without any flaw, without any problem. Any question? Okay, so some important information. Command line arguments are of a string type. Always remember this. This is a rule of thumb. Whenever we take an input from a user using input function, it is also of a string type, right? Similarly, when you're taking an input using command line interface, it is also of a string type. Always remember this. Even when we are reading data from a file, it is also from a string type. So to perform any arithmetic operation, you need to convert it either into integer or floating point value. Make sense? Another important thing is if an argument requires a space, for example, full name of a person, it should be enclosed in quotes. So if I write like this, Python program.py Hassan Baig, so both first name and the last name will be treated as a separate element in ARGV. ARGV1 will contain Hassan, and the index number 2 will contain Baig. Okay? But if I want both names, first and last, to be treated as a single element, I have to enclose that in quotes. Okay? And then it will be stored in ARGV1. Okay? These are very simple logical questions you may expect to have in exam.